answering a question from a subscriber. He asked, when you did interviews in the past or when you have Zoom meetings or other events online, do you ever think people will turn you down because of your skin, eczema? What is your experience with these thoughts or self-doubts? I'm coming from this as somebody who's an entrepreneur, so I've hired a bunch of people, also work with a lot of different partners. Some of my businesses have been consulting businesses, so I've had to interview or try to grab clients. Personally, for me, I've never thought about what people thought of me or how they see me, especially with my skin. So I think that's one of the benefits, and which has allowed me to do so much in so many different industries and be pretty successful at doing that. Obviously, after college, I wasn't healthy enough to get a job. I couldn't even really get out of bed. My whole body was rotting, and my joints were, they would pop whenever I would walk, so I had to crawl to the restroom. But I was able to make very high quality work samples, and basically the solution was the work spoke for itself. And done this repeatedly, first with financial analysis, posting that on various blogs and writing my own analysis, and people, big hedge fund managers found me and just offered for me to work with them without ever having to see me. I think I worked with him for almost 2 years, and we maybe only spoke on the phone twice. A lot of it was through email. And later I did that with media, editing videos, entertainment. Also communicating with clients or your potential employer or the organization. If you're professional, clear, and honest, and they know you have the abilities that they want, most of the time they don't even care about where you went to school. Obviously now there's plenty of work that you can do from home. Even healthy people are working from home after COVID. I'm always surprised of how much people think about how other people see them with their skin issues, because I've always been just too sick and too much in pain to even think about how others are seeing me. Just with all the skin burning, the peeling, the itching, and the leaking, so the skin will stick to my clothes and things like that. There's just so much input from the sensory pain and discomfort of eczema, and I also have asthma and allergies that if I can't breathe, if my whole body and my skin is burning, I'm not thinking about how other people are thinking about me. And even when I'm chatting with people through video and things like that, I'm just so overwhelmed with the sensations of itching and burning and not being able to breathe. I'm focusing on just speaking the words and focusing on the project or whatever topic they're talking to me about, that I don't have the extra mental capacity to worry about if they're judging me for my skin. And I think a lot of that eventually rubs off because the person interviewing you or chatting with you, they're not going to know as much about eczema or your skin condition, or that you even have a condition to ask that question, and definitely not through video. It's much harder to see it. But even in person, you might feel uncomfortable because you're itching, you're burning, and you have these doubts and anger and frustration with your condition. But the other person looking at you, they're just trying to do a job and evaluate your abilities. So if you don't let your frustration and anger and doubt show, then they're not really going to know that there's a problem. Maybe they'll guess that you have dry skin, or usually they'll just think you have sunburn or something like that. But beyond that, unless you can't do the job, you need to tell them. But unless that's the issue, most people won't know that you have any problems, so they definitely won't judge you for how your skin looks. So the subscriber had a follow-up saying, because the skin is something you can't control, it feels like the odds are stacked against you if people judge you for it. The self-doubt or thinking that odds are stacked against you, a lot of people think that way whether they're healthy or not. If things don't go your way, you start searching for reasons. Sometimes they're excuses, sometimes that's just the way it is. But the person hiring can only hire one person or two, or how many openings there are. There might be some biases. You can't let that bother you. Even with healthy people searching for a job, they have to sometimes go through thousands of interviews. Sometimes the interviewer, maybe they're having a bad day or they have other more pressing issues. So don't always think it's your problem. And even if it is, it's more likely that you just don't have the qualifying skills. So that's at least something you can control, is to keep improving and working on whatever skills is necessary for you to get the job that you want or sign the client or partnership that you want. Finding things that you're excited about to keep doing has always been at least my way of coping with my multiple chronic illnesses. These are almost a better distraction, finding something that would lift my spirits, and because my health and my life is full of such negative things, that a positive interest and something I can work on would allow me to focus my attention on something positive and enjoyable instead of the burning and the itching. Even though that's all there, if I'm focused on and zoned in on my work, just like when people are really focused on something that they love, they'll forget to eat. I'll forget about a lot of my health conditions and suffering, even though those are still temporary there. I'll itch, I'll scratch, I'll rub my skin together, but my mind is on working on something that I enjoy. So it's easy to work hard and not get discouraged when you have work that you enjoy. And even if you don't have something you enjoy, I think that's something you can work through, because when I first started with stock investing, I didn't like it at all. I actually hated it in college. My dad wanted me to take economics classes. So I also have an economics degree in addition to my engineering degree, but I spent 99% of my time on the engineering because that's what I liked. Well, after college, I was too sick to even get out of bed, so I definitely couldn't go and be an engineer. And that's when I started poking around and trying to learn about investing and stock trading. I still wasn't that into it until I figured, hey, I can merge stock investing with my engineering background on stuff like that I like. So I focus on various technology and engineering stocks. And then that's writing some analysis for that and posting it online. That's how this hedge fund manager found me and hired me to be an analyst remotely. I still could barely get out of bed. My skin was still rotting and suffering a lot, but he never saw that and he didn't really care. And so even when you think there's nothing you like, you can find different angles of figuring things out in a way that would be enjoyable. Maybe it's not about the stocks, but for me, sometimes it's about, piecing together strategies. So if you like strategies, maybe you don't like companies or technologies or how they work, but with investing, you can use strategies. You can study history and how that applies to it. So those are various angles that you can take to make something that you don't like a passion. And same thing with when I started my fashion magazine. I actually don't like fashion at all. I actually think it's pretty superficial. I never really got into it. But then I realized that fashion stylists and things like that those are the people that make movies and scenes come to life and take you on a journey, lets you mentally travel somewhere that you can't go physically. Well, because of my health, I've always wanted I love imagining things and seeing movies and scenes and almost like an escape. So getting into fashion was more about the photography, the styling, the locations, and being to create a new world instead of the fashion itself that I don't like. So that's how I got into that. Whether if you're interviewing for a job or trying to get clients, even if certain interviews fail or pitches fail, that's going to happen. And that's something you're just going to have to get used to. Even when you get healthy, you're going to have to deal with that. It's not just a problem with your health or how you look. While you're doing that, don't think of that time as wasted, or your thought after getting rejected shouldn't be, oh, I failed again. You just take what you learned and be like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is one step closer, even when you don't see the end goal or it doesn't seem like it's progressing. If you learn from every failure or when every time you get rejected, something you can improve on, that is going to help you get to where you want to be eventually. If every time that an interview doesn't work out, think, how can I make the next one better? And that's the only thought you have, and that's what you should work on. Even if there's nothing obvious of anything you did wrong, just assume that there's something you can improve on and just keep working on that and working on that. While you're doing that, also build your portfolio and get involved with the community, especially now so much of jobs and the economy is online, whether if it's doing e-commerce or something on social media or being involved with a crypto blockchain project. Those are all free. They have open channels that you can join. Even if you don't know programming, you can start somewhere, or if you know design, they need a lot of designers. So just be a part of a community, and when you have enough people who know you, a lot of jobs come from personal connections. A lot of great opportunities come from because somebody recommended you to their friend. And that means you got to be their friend to begin with for them to trust you enough to get to pass your name along as somebody who's really good at a certain thing. That's my personal experience, and I don't think I was just lucky that people didn't judge me. Because I've done this repeatedly through several different industries, and I've continuously been able to work with more and more people, and people want to work with me. So I don't think my skin was a big reason. Otherwise, that would have stopped these opportunities from coming a long time ago. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, my name is Jeffrey Lin. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @JeffreyLinLA. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe button. Leave some comments below or hit me up on Instagram to ask me some questions. I'd love to help you guys out.